Welcome, adventurers. And I know this might be different for you guys, but we are in dire need of a hero. Please, brave heroes, rescue us from the evil Demon King. If you would like, I can instruct you with where you can go and whatnot in this new world that you have been teleported to. If you would like, you can talk a little bit more with me and learn more about the church. Otherwise, there is a town that you can go off to. I have given you some basic supplies to start your journey. There is a training grounds along with the monsters surrounding the gate shouldn't be that difficult to deal with. So you could probably deal with them. This is your inventory. If you would like to access your inventory at any time, you can just put it in the chat. In your current inventory, we'll give you 20 gold. You can spend the gold in the city if you would like to get new supplies, along with a sword and a health potion to get you on your way. Faith is gonna kinda go over here and start messing with some things. You wanna look around the church? Yeah, it's a pretty normal church. You can see a nice stained glass with what seems to be an offering, some sort of ritual fire underneath. There's some nice rafters up above you, some archways around you. Otherwise, behind you, there is the exit door to the church. Beneath you, there is some sort of summoning circle, which seems to be how you guys appeared in this world. You want to investigate Faith? She currently seems to be doing things off to the side, adjusting panels. And that's Faith. You can see that she's wearing a nun uniform dress. Yeah, looking at nothing in particular. We summoned you here because there's an evil Demon King summoning monsters into this world and destroying crops and hurting townsfolk. And we are in dire need of help because the adventurers aren't able to defeat the Demon King. They were barely even able to get to the Demon King's castle. But unfortunately, we have lost many lives due to the evil Demon King. Goodbye, adventurer. I wish you well in your journey. Alright, you leave the church to find a heavily worn path into the city. So, pretty easy to get there. You just follow the signpost. And you're now in the town center entrance. Off to the granny with swords. Alright. You walk up to the granny. Hello there, adventurer. Would you like any of my wares? It's dangerous out in the woods. if you were to fight any of the evil creatures out there. It seems that she's selling some swords, some shields. There might be other products, but you would probably have to ask about them. Oh, well, you see, I do have some health potions along with some medical supplies if you would like to make sure your journey is safer. If you would like to sell anything from any monsters that you face, you could also do that. Bring them to me, and I'll give you some gold in exchange. Honestly, I find adventurers so brave. My husband was an adventurer, and he's actually the reason why I'm in this business. To protect the future adventurers. Or anything you'd like to do? Oh, I'm too attached to my past husband. He might be gone, but he's still one with my heart. Yeah, you pat Granny on the head, and swords are 1 gold if you would like to buy a sword. That's your inventory right now. You currently have 20 gold, 1 health potion, and a sword. All of this was obtained from the church. Do you want to buy all 2 swords? And you do have 1 sword already. You guys buy 2 swords from Granny. Bring your gold total down to 18 gold. Oh, and your inventory is endless. You can put whatever you want in it. Thank you so much, young folks. I wish you well on your travels, and I hope you can defeat any creatures that you come upon. I'll have to ask my son to make some more swords for me. Unfortunately, I don't have any more swords in stock today. But if you come back tomorrow, you might be able to get another sword. You know, my son, he's the town's blacksmith, and he makes all the swords in town. Granny is very happy that you guys got the swords. Aw, thank you. Thank you for the head pats. I wish you well. And you guys are visiting the wand cellar. Alright, you walk up to this dude, and he is frantically inscribing some inscriptions on a wand. And he seems to be muttering to himself about needing to complete a certain amount of wands. He doesn't really notice you as you walk up. What are you guys gonna say to him? You guys ask him about any goods or any wands for blowing things up, and he looks up at you guys and says, "Oh, yes, we have lots of wands. I need to sell quite a few of them right now, but all of the wands will blow things up as long as you know spells. We have some spell books inside as well, but I'm currently making wands. If you would like any wands, they are 4 gold. apiece. You guys do not know any spells, but you will be able to learn some from spell books that someone sells. The one that he's working on has a list. It seems he is inscribing small. It's not quite words, or at least not words that you understand, but there's some strange insignia on the wand that he is kind of imbuing into. Any wand basically does the same thing. It allows you to channel magic in a way that casts spells. Any wand really will do what you want. Some wands are more inclined for specific magics, but these are all just basic wands for beginners, basically. You grab this wand and he says, "Hey, are you gonna pay for that? That's gonna be 4 gold if you are paying for it. That is a finished wand, if you would like it." When you're looking at it, it doesn't seem much different from the one he's working on. Just all red, basically. Seems to be similar type of wand. But you guys decided to buy the wand. You guys do not know how to cast magic, but you do have a wand. Thank you guys so much for buying one of my wands. The big guy does have magic books that he's selling. If you would like to get any magic books. Though I don't have any control over the selling of the magic books. So if you guys get any magic books, you will be able to cast spells. The dude directs you inside, and inside of you see a little shop. Welcome to the magic shop, where you can buy whatever magic books you want, whatever your heart desires, just for a price. And of course, he sells the magic. He sells the magic to you guys. And of course, the magic books are sold per spell. So if you wanted to learn a spell, you're learning them one at a time. You will have to make a couple different checks. Beth Jezos, yes. The first check will be for grabbing the spell books. They are kind of all just on a bookshelf. So for stealing the book. Now is it working? It is. Alright, pretty easy skill check. You are able to grab the book. He's not expecting you to just steal it. This is the book on Fireball. Most classic basic spell. You guys do not know. You haven't read the book. That'll take a little bit of time. So when you guys grab the book, he's gonna be like surprised He's gonna ask you, what are you doing with that book? That's my book. You better be paying for that book. You're bringing out the swords. You guys are going to attack Beth Jezos. You guys don't surprise him very much. He's kind of used to riffraff trying to steal his spell books. And he's going to attack you with a firebolt. No advantage. Unless you give a really cool way to attack him. If you guys do a very cool move, I will give you another chance to roll for your first attack. Beth Jezos does no magic. For somersaulting over him and Bex. Oh! That's a 20! Alright, Buffer reflects the light back from Jezos' bald head into his eyes, which blinds him, and he cries out in pain as you're able to slice him down before he's able to do anything. You guys have killed the man and gained a skill book. What would you like to do? It doesn't seem like anybody's noticed the commotion. At least, it doesn't seem like anybody's noticed quite yet. But you have murdered Beth Jezos. Yeah, you can look through his spells and see if there's any acid books. Yeah, unfortunately, there are no acid spell books, but you do find, yeah. Alright, you guys are going to try to burn the body. Let's see how well that works out for you guys. Let's see how well that goes. You expertly managed to burn just the body and did not end up burning down the entire wooden building, leaving behind nothing but a pile of ashes. And also, you guys found from the burnt body, you guys found that he had 20 gold on him. So you guys have a lot more gold. You guys are rich now. You guys have succeeded in murder. Last will and testament. You guys are able to find his last will and testament. Do you guys want to try forging his will? Not 20. You guys actually seem to be master forgers, and nobody could tell the difference. So you are now in his last will and testament. Anything you want to do with the last will and testament? Because it is now, you guys will at some point eventually get Beth Jezos' entire fortune. Put it back roughly where you found it? Alright. It is now again in a box underneath the stairs. The monster wolf infested forest? Alright. Sounds like a great plan. You guys head back out to town and say to the worker that was selling wands about how he had to go out into the forest and he had something to do. You weren't sure what in the forest. Let's see how well your deception is. He thinks, I don't know, it might be a little bit sketchy, but he doesn't care. He just has to work. He's very exhausted. Doesn't really pay too much heed to it. You guys want to go to the tavern? Yeah, minimum wage makes workers not care about whatever sketchy things happen because they aren't paid enough to care. You guys succeeded. You guys got away with murder. Congratulations. You guys go into the tavern. You see a couple people sitting, enjoying their food. There is a waitress at the bar. Would you like to sit down, ask any questions? Get any alcohol? Yeah, you guys can get so many drinks now. You walk up to the counter and you can see a sign for some different foods, 2 different drinks. You're welcome to help yourself to anything that you want. Sure thing, we can bring that out for you right away. Oops. 1 nummy Kryloaf for 1 gold. Is there anything else you would like to order? A Kryloaf and a beer. All right, sure thing. That'll be 2 gold. And you, with your astounding wealth, barely makes a dent on your fortunes. Do you guys want to eat do you want to eat Cry right now or save him for later? Along with the beer. Eat half of Cry. All right. You eat half of the Kryloaf. And then you put the rest of Cry in your inventory. Yeah. Keep him with you guys for later. And then you chug. Let's see how drunk you get. You guys are mildly buzzed. But it was some good beer. Like, you feel like you could pound back quite a few more before you're actually heavily intoxicated. You could try to eat the cup. Do you guys want to try to heat the cup? See how well that goes down. 14. You kind of bite into the cup and you just get a couple splinters in your mouth. You also lose a quarter of your first heart. Nutritional value of the cup was probably slightly beer tinged. You get kind of a beer taste, but it was mostly just wood. You didn't eat the cup, you kind of nommed on the cup. You kind of just bit into it. Scraped a little bit of the cup. You kind of ate some of the wood of the cup. Scraped it just a little bit off. If you want to murder the barkeep, you could try that. But it is going to be more difficult now that there's multiple people in the building. That probably is not going to be very happy with that. You guys are gonna go up to the barkeep and ask if the barkeep is single. She kind of let's see how. Yeah, she kind of just gives you a customer service smile, awkward smile, and says, I am single, but I'm not really looking to date anybody right now. You guys failed the Riz. Do you guys want to ask her anything else? You slide over to the redhead, sit yourself down, try dating everyone in the tavern. Let's see how it goes with the redhead. Yeah, they also kind of just. They kind of think you're drunk and kind of laugh it off in a way, but they didn't really respond to how single they are. You at least. Yeah. You guys don't have that much Riz, it seems like. You can try to do a backflip. Yeah, you kind of try to do a backflip, but it's kind of more of like a back roll. Like, you don't really backflip. It kind of looks pretty silly. And they kind of they left the bar. Yeah, you land on your knees and it looks like it kind of hurts. They also took their wine with them. Yeah, you can ask the guy for the beer. Yeah, the beer's kind of half drunk, and he said, yeah, sure, whatever. I don't really need that much. It's probably better for me not to be drinking. So you sit down across from the old dude, and you got half a beer. isn't really quite the eccentric. And, you know, you guys feel even slightly less buzzed than before, quite honestly. This beard doesn't really seem to be hidden that well. And now you have another empty beer cup. Do you want to buy a bar stool? Steal or buy? You want to eat the second one? But you do end up scraping up just a tiny bit of the cup, but you do get an even larger splinter in your tongue this time, and it really, really hurts. All right. You go up to the lady and ask to buy a bar stool. One of the chairs. She says, yeah, sure, if you want to buy one of them. It will be 5 gold. You want to drive a hard bargain for 2? 2 gold? She'll do 3 gold for one of the bar stools. Are y'all good with buying a stool for 3 gold? Reminder, how much gold you have is currently 32 gold. The answer is yes. You guys are buying a stool for 3 gold. You now have a stool in your inventory. And 3 less gold. Anything else you would like to ask the barkeep? You could use the bar stool to fight, yes. You can fight however you wish. That is something you feel like could actually be done. Currently, your inventory is looking pretty nice. That is going to be a harder check, because she did see you just ask if the redhead was single and watched you fail to do the backflip. So this is a pretty hard check. And she's already rejected you once. Yeah, she's still very single. Very single. Oh, but the barkeep is starting to look uncomfortable with you guys, and yeah, you can walk out of the bar. You apologize to the barkeep for continuously hitting on her while she's working. And, you know, she's civil about it. She doesn't seem like she appreciates that you apologize, but it doesn't seem like it really fixed that you were hitting on her while she was at work. Where do you guys like to go next? What would you like to do? You guys just are not great with hitting on people, but you are very great at hitting people. Or blinding people and then killing them. It is getting a little bit darker. It's been a little bit, quite a while in the day. The old woman seems to have gone back into her shop and kind of packed up her little stall area. The mage worker is still working on a wand. Might be the same wand, might be a different wand. You guys don't know. You could make a check for it, but it's not really that useful to know. At least that's my personal opinion. You do see this guy. And he's talking to the worker. There does seem to be a knight talking to the worker right now. No, you guys are not wanted. You guys got away with the murder. Or at least that's what you guys know. Yeah, you're not even wanted by the authorities. Not wanted by women, not wanted by anyone. You guys are the heroes. Here, flashback moment. Flashback, woo! Please save us from the Demon King, who's invading our town and spawning a bunch of monsters. Please help us. We'd be ever so grateful. Just a quick flashback. But it seems like you guys want to go back to church. You guys are so devout and faithful. You guys take the path up to the church. Welcome back, heroes. How was your time at town? I hope everything went great. Oh. Oh, I'm sorry, heroes. As a nun, I have to be without a partner, or I can't date anyone. I'm sorry, heroes. But I wish you good luck. You want smooch? The knight, you guys have not flirted with the knight yet. You guys might be able to get with the knight. Do you guys want to go back to the knight? Oh, and everyone, if you would like, we do have a training grounds. If you would like to train and get stronger. Otherwise, I have heard of goblins near the village wall. She's gonna be trying to push you to fight monsters. Kill goblins and take their head and bring it back to the knight to increase flirting chances. Surely the knight will accept you guys with a goblin head. You decided to go. Alright, you make it out following the signs. And the city guards let you out without question. You go out into the woods. Alright, yeah. You guys are able to find a goblin. Yeah, they let you out without question. It's going in that's more of a problem. Use the swords as Throwing swords. Alright. Beat him from the distance, yeah. You'll still be left with one more. You're gonna yeet 2 of the swords at the goblin. The swords go flying into him, knocking him down. Then you're gonna continue poking at him. He's going to try to attack you guys as you guys approach, but he's not able to do anything with how injured he is from your guys' flying swords. So you guys are gonna poke at him some. Go up to him and poke at him with your remaining sword. And you somehow... I'll give you advantage because he's on the ground. Yeah, you guys kind of stab him. He's still alive somehow, just barely. But very, very close to dying. You guys are gonna decapitate him? Poke his neck. You guys kind of do a really, really bad job at decapitating him, but he is dead, and you kind of like did really, really bad job at decapitating him. Somehow went through his shoulder, actually. Like, honestly, it's kind of impressive how bad you guys were at decapitating him. Right, I love you on his head. You managed to make kind of like a heart from stabbing into his forehead. You could sell the corpse. You guys will collect your swords. I'm sure anyone would love getting a decapitated head as a present. Oh yeah, they are slightly bloody. Is there a river nearby? You could look for one. Yeah, you loot his body, and he did have 1 gold on him. Bring you up to 30 gold. Here's a roll for looking for a river. There is not a river nearby from what you can tell. Do you guys want to leave the goblin corpse on the ground, or do you want to put him in your inventory? Is there a pond nearby? Yes, there is actually a pond nearby. Do you want to take the head with, I'm guessing? Yeah, gift for the night. You guys are gonna go out to the pond? Yeah, you can also take the dagger. Alright, you have 1 dagger in your inventory. Grab some leaves and make a romantic dish. Alright, here's the pond. And you guys are gonna clean off your swords in the pond. And you're able to get the swords looking as clean as new. Keep 1 dirty, preface kill. Alright, you have 2 clean swords, 1 dirty sword. and you're gonna jump into the pond with the goblin dagger. Had to update your inventory real quick. Trix will try to catch fish with the goblin dagger. Let's see how well that will go. So now let's see if you're even able to find any fish in the water. Yeah, no, the water is it's water. You can tell that. But you don't see any fish as you're swimming around with the goblin dagger. You want to see if anyone's thrown anything into the water? Yeah, you are able to find that someone did throw a pouch. So you come out of the pond with a pouch of. It doesn't have many coins, but you do find 2 coins in it. So you now have a tiny pouch. Tiny coin pouch. And 2 more gold. You guys want to find some berries? You guys can look around and see if you see foraging. If you even find anything while you're foraging. Okay, you find some berries. They may or may not be good. They're pretty small berries. Red, circular. Cat says to eat the berries. Do you really want to eat the berries that you found in the woods? You eat half of the berry. And you don't feel anything right now. So it seems like they might be fine. They might have been fine. All right, so you have 4.5 berries. You guys head back past your decapitated goblin friend. Yeah, you could go to the tavern and spend the night. All right, you guys head over to the gate, and the guards, they do stop you, ask you for token of identification or a gold coin. If you do not have a token of identification. You guys want to bargain? Offer a berry for safe passing? I'm seeing 2 berries. Alright. You guys are going to go into your inventory and pull out the berries. Ask them to do the berry. If they would like the berries instead of the 1 gold coin. Yeah, no, they say it's 1 gold coin or you're not getting into town. They don't accept your berries. 4.5 berries. You do not have an ID, you can get one, but you so far have not. You can get one at the tavern, actually. Oh, and some more time passed, and it is darker. It's actually pretty dark now. You do offer them the berries still. They get frustrated with your continuous offering of the berries and get suspicious. They force you to eat a berry because you are oh so insistent on giving them the berries. Let's see how well you're able to pass off the berries being okay. Yeah, those berries were so good. Just a little bit sour. They let you pass. Um, they're not taking the berries. All right, you guys stop talking to the guards and go past the signs into town. You go into town and the streets are pretty. There's nobody on the streets. Alright, you guys are going to the tavern. Oops. The same barkeep from earlier is still at the bar. She sees it's you and kind of does a little ugh, but like not too noticeable. But she she is a little bit distasteful of you. Technically it's not curse, it's poison. You got it's toxic. You guys ate poisonous berries. And your stomach's really, really not feeling it. Alright, you're gonna order some more beer. You can also order wine, but I feel like free beer for medical reasons. Yeah, no, she asks you to pay up if you're getting some beer. And she does seem to hate you even more now, actually. For how much of a nuisance you are while she's working. Offer her a berry? Or you're gonna casually ask if she wants a berry? Yeah, no, she doesn't seem like she is going to take anything from you guys. She's going to point to prices are subject to change in the small print on the sign. Beer is going to cost you guys 2 gold to buy. Alright, you're going to check out a room. The room will cost you 3 gold for the night. And she's going to give you a key for the room. Do you guys want to buy a beer or go straight to sleep? Because you guys could poison a beer with berries. You do know that the beer is not great for your, or the berries is not great for your health. Offer the beer as a forgiving token. I think Gilo wants to murder the barkeep. Just a reminder, this dude did give just a flashback to past actions. This dude did give you half of his beer just because you asked for some beer. Alright, you guys are gonna buy a beer for 2 gold. You guys have a beer mug. Staff guy, Staff Guy doesn't hate you guys. You guys did buy a staff from him previously, and possibly murdered his boss, but he isn't completely sure about that. And, you know, if you guys did murder Staff Guy, or if you murdered Staff Guy's boss, he probably would be fine with it. Alright, you guys are gonna poison the beer with the berries. Do you want to just put all of the berries in? Alright, you're gonna put all of the berries into the beer. But now you have some poisoned beer. And you're gonna walk over to Staff Guy. What are you gonna say to Staff Guy? And your cup of beer. That's definitely doesn't look different at all from normal beer. This beer is very good. Wanna taste? Alright, you guys are gonna say something along the lines of, hey, heard your boss is missing, and offering him a beer for his condolences. Yeah, he's gonna take the beer. He's... What? You know, I've kind of been depressed about him being missing. It's nice not having to constantly be working, but I'm so glad you guys are giving me the beer. This beer, I really needed it after I've lost my job and everything. Report the barkeep to the authorities. You know, I'm going to roll for something. I'm not going to tell you what I rolled for. Okay. That's good for you guys. Yeah, you guys don't have any more berries. They are all in this cup of beer. They are all in this cup of beer. He downs the beer and, you know, he doesn't really feel anything. Yeah, good thing you found the keys. He doesn't really feel anything other than that was some good beer that was slightly sour for some reason. Alright, do you want to talk any more with him? Say anything else? So you want to see if he will go into the night with you guys? Talk about how you... Oh, gosh. Yeah, he's so thankful of you and, like, how nice that you've been with him. And, like, sure, hey, like, I would love to step outside and talk more. Like, I've been feeling so bad today. Like, I had to talk with the Knight about my missing boss, and it's just been so horrible. You two go outside, and he's about willing to follow you anywhere. And, like, You say that there's a really nice spot that you know about just a little bit away from here. Alright, he's out here in this dark alley with you guys. He's very drunk, very poisoned. Sorry. Totally not maybe poisoned. He could. You're going to see if you can tell if he's feeling anything from the poison. Yeah, you know, he kind of just looks like a dude. Dude, sunken face. You know, he probably had sunken cheeks beforehand. You can't really tell if he's poisoned or not. Or if he's feeling the effects of the poison. So, you know, I've been having a really rough time with the work and everything, and so overworked and whatnot. And what's that? Do you guys want to stab him with your dagger, your sword, or your bloody sword? Dirty goblin blood sword. Alright. One more check. Yeah. You successfully distract him with what's that, and you completely slice through him. Alright. You guys are, as time goes on, or as you do this, your stomach really isn't feeling great, and you do feel violently ill in your tummy. Alright, with that out of the way, what you find on him is another wand. After effects of berries from a long time ago. He was very broke, let's just say. So all you're able to find on him is a 1 gold. It seems like he was planning on just spending that 1 gold in the bar. But you do now have 1 more gold, another wand, and another beginner basic wand. Steady the evilness away. And you guys want to try to clean the sword off on his clothing? Yeah, you're able to get most of the blood off. It does look like just a pretty used sword. Alright, so you take his wand, you take the 1 gold on him. You want to do anything with the body? Hide the body in any way? Or just leave him in the alleyway? Go report this, or wait until the barkeep is asleep and sneak the body into the kitchen? Great idea. Alright, I'm guessing. So you want to put the body in the kitchen? Also, the random roll that I said I'm not going to specify what I was rolling for, that you got a 16 for, was whether or not anyone saw you put the berries in. Which is good for you, because no one saw you. Alright, you guys are going back into the tavern with the body. There is a new person at the bar. Seems they switched shifts or whatnot. You want to sneak into the kitchen? See if you can sneak into the kitchen? You can roll for charisma, yes. Don't worry about that. You definitely haven't been gradually losing the hearts that were poisoned gradually as the night went on. You guys want to hit on the new barkeep? All right, you guys walk up to the new barkeep. Yeah, no, the past barkeep kind of already talked about you and how you were hitting on everyone and was being kind of a nuisance in the bar. And so she really does not seem interested because she recognizes you from the old barkeep. What the old barkeep said. You guys have negative riz. Like, you guys get decent rolls for everything else, but your riz is just not great, chat. Your wisdom went up from killing the staff guy. Yeah, the old one ratted you out. You know they talk shit and back about all the customers that they've had. What do you want to do now? Yeah, you guys studied the blade, not how to riz. You guys have not interacted with the knight yet. Or with another knight, at least. No, you guys have not slept even. Rolling for sneaking into the kitchen. She was like, what are you doing? Do I have to ask you to leave? Are you really going to harass the staff and then try to get into the kitchen? What do you even want back there? Like, do you want beer that much? You have a feeling that if you do like one more thing in the bar that you might get kicked out. You do have a room that you have not checked out yet. You want to act drunk and try to continue to go into the kitchen? Is that correct? No, not correct? Alright. Oh, act drunk and go to the room. Okay. You kind of wobble around. Oh yeah, I'm so drunk, you know? I'm so drunk. You're not a very convincing drunk, I must say, as she has seen many drunks, and she thinks you probably were doing it out of embarrassment as you went up into your room. Alright. This is your room. It's a nice little cozy room. This place is made out of wood. Most of the town, in fact, is made out of wood. I will say. You do have 2 spell books that you need to study to know how to cast magic. Hint, hint, you might want to study those while you have time. You could also clean out your inventory. Study and sleep. Alright, let's see how well you were studying. Yeah, you were able to. Do you guys want to learn ice or fire? Fire a body, your reputation is cooked. Fake your own death and approach the night as a new person. Do you guys want to learn ice magic or fire magic? Fire. Alright, you guys are learning fire. In a magical wish, as you're reading the book, the book sort of disintegrates as runes and float into the air and go into your head, and you learn the fire spell. You have burnt a body once and it worked out. Put the body on the bed and burn it. Yeah, so the body needs to be charred. Let's see how well you're able to burn specifically the body. You start smelling the smell of like fried chicken. What do you guys want to do now that there's a nice smell in the air? Just burn the place and run. Alright, you're gonna try to cast Giant Fireball. Let's see how well that goes. Yeah, you cast Fireball again. And there's the start of fire. Fire is definitely going. Well, there is a fire going. A couple fires, actually. And you did just learn the spell. Alright, you're gonna run away. Is there a window? There is a window, but there is also... Like, you could pretty easily get out of that window. It's not like it's glass or anything, it's just like an opening with shutters. But you are on the second story. The body is burning. It is... Yeah. So you guys jumping out the window? Yeah, you're able to climb down. You're able to climb down from the window. You can see some smoke coming out of the window. You also hear the people start shuffling around, and you can hear the faint sound of voices coming from inside. Your fire might have been discovered. Where do you guys want to run to? Go to the church. Let me make a quick roll. Alright, you guys are going to the church. Well, that was a roll for something. You guys might not know that something. But I think that roll is pretty good for you guys. Oh, one more something. Hmm. Okay. That is good for you guys. I know it said 5, but that is good for you guys. But what are you guys doing here so late at night? Were you guys not able to find the tavern or something? The nun seems to have like just woken up or woke up because you came into the church. I really shouldn't do this, but we do have an extra room if you would like to stay there for the night. It's just for poor travelers passing by. This church is less flammable. This church is less flammable than the tavern, but is still relatively flammable. There is wood beams and then marble and like rock. So if you take this structural support, it'll probably crumble without. What is the main support beam? I'm guessing you guys want to spend the night at the church? It would depend. It would be relatively big of an explosion that you would need. Alright. She leads you to the church room. You still have a healing vial. You guys haven't used it yet. Do you guys want to drink your healing potion? You could ask for vials. You do still have the goblin head, yes. Alright. Yeah. You haven't met the knight again. I'm sure you'll meet them soon. You go back out and ask for any more healing vials. Unfortunately, our church does not have any more healing vials. But you should be able to buy some more healing vials in the town. You guys want to drink your healing potion? Alright. I'll have you guys drink the healing potion and then you can talk to the nuns some more. Yeah, unfortunately, you guys, your healing potion just kinda, it might have been a bad batch. Maybe it sat too long in the heat. But it does seem like it didn't seem to actually do that much. Alright, you go out to the nun to talk more about the monsters. Well, really, there isn't too many monsters close by, only mostly weaker goblins, because the adventurers are able to clear out the monsters around town. But the further you go into the woods and the closer to the Demon King's castle, the worse the monsters get. And if we don't continuously send out adventurers to clear out the monsters, then it truly would be a travesty. I'm worried not about my soul, but for this town. How does the king prevent the monsters from entering? Thankfully, we do have a very large wall around town. We are better off than most towns, in fact, where our kingdom is protected by the large wall and all of our knights. How much do the town gates do? The town gates do quite a lot. Honestly, it does also help that we have quite a few adventurers in town to clear out the monsters and rebuild any damage to the walls. The walls are pretty necessary, yes. There aren't many cracks in the walls, I should hope. There are regular checkups on the walls, and one of the tasks of adventurers is to make sure the walls are nice and secure. And what about the tavern? Rebuild the tavern? Why would we need to rebuild the tavern? We have a pretty nice tavern, actually, in town. There could actually be another tavern, though, with how many adventurers we get. Nothing? Oh. You must be a little drunk. I see. You must have been coming from the tavern, then. Do monsters also have a soul? The monsters... Well, everything comes from our great god. However, the monsters are cursed. And are hated by our great god. So, truly, I would say they probably don't have a soul. Or they do, but they're filthy souls, you know? And monsters do have families, but just as you and me, but they're not happy families. They're families set out to destroy the lives of humans. The monsters could never live alongside us, as they are evil and they also are aggressive in nature. How can someone do good if even a life got... That's the thing. Monsters are not good. There's no good inside of them. The monsters do have habitable land, and they just choose to invade our lands. And of course, there are aggressive and not aggressive people as well, but all humans are redeemable. The habitable lands that they have is they have their castle, and of course we are currently at war, so we are fighting against them, but when we don't invade their lands, they still come to invade ours. And they're very aggressive. I don't think you guys will make me lose faith in humanity. You guys are the heroes, so of course you guys must be good. You can always confess to God and repent under her good will. Why would you be the bringer of repentance? Good. Yeah, you guys are so good. Obviously, you were summoned here by the will of our great lord. You dare call my lord fake? Even monsters know about the will of the Lord. You guys aren't. I'm sorry, but that room is actually taken now. We can't let you live in this church if you don't. If you're not supportive of our culture. Sister, it seems that there's been some commotion in town. Somebody must have gotten drunk and started playing with fire spells. So, we're currently on the lookout for a troublemaker. You apologize for your behavior? Are you drunk? Do you have any knowledge of the person who burned down the tavern? You look like normal, dude. The staff guy? Who's the staff guy? Please let me know more. There was the Reginald who seems to have been deceased in the tavern. Okay, so they don't know. That's fine. We did find Reginald in the tavern who seemed to have been laying in bed, probably playing with his wand. You guys say that you were out on an adventure with the goblin head. Came from the forest far away. Ah, yes, we do know that you were out and about slaying goblins for the good of the town. And came back in and kinda. Well, we heard about you from the barkeep, let's just say. But I understand why you probably wouldn't want to stay the night there. Yes, we were actually looking into Reginald's boss, and it seems like his boss went into the woods or something, and he must have met up with some monsters. And it is true that Reginald was really sad about his boss and being out of a job. I would be happy to have your help to fight alongside you in the war against the Demon King. Also, I don't think you guys should burn down the city gates. And the city gates are stone, so that would be quite hard. It is true that sadness that Reginald had could actually be guilt. We'll have to look deeper into this. Because he was the last person to see his boss. Also, the knight's going to look at your goblin head. Why is there a heart carved into this goblin head? Are you perchance into defacing monsters? Yeah, it's quite possible Reginald was envious of his boss. You know, it's been so long. You spent so long talking to the nun and the knight. You guys haven't even slept, and it is now day that you've spent so much talking to the knight, the city guard. My great knight, thou must be a great fighter. Could thou teach me your ways and be together for life? Okay, 10. That wasn't as bad as what it looked like it was going to be. Ah, so you would like to be my disciple? We could definitely take you in under the city guard if you would like to become a knight just like me. Faith does hate you guys. You guys have no luck with women, honestly. You guys want to be knights. Yeah, you guys have no luck with anything revolving romance. 0 Riz, -3 Riz. Alright, you could reroll now. What do you want to say to the knight before he leaves? I must report the things that I've learned about Reginald here. Thank you for your valuable information. Alright, randomize. I'll let you randomize one stat. Alright, you're randomizing strength. You tried to get Riz, you got strength. Yeah, you doubted her faith. Quizzed her on her faith. Okay, you guys actually get +3 strength from gambling. Oh, I do also have... We did also find something in investigating Beth Jesus' house. We did find his last will and testament. And we found out that you guys got everything. So you have come into a large fortune. It's a good thing that I found you at the church. He was my light in the moment of darkness. I shall go get my things to grieve in peace. Alright, you're gonna get his last will and testament. Oh, I failed at putting that in the inventory. I'm guessing you guys are taking the goblin head. Alright, the knight's going to go back and report about Reginald. Hell? What do you mean by hell? All souls return to the great God above. Oh, you must be one of those Christians, as they call it? I'm sorry, I'm not. We don't follow your world's beliefs. Sister, these swords are made of the holy steel. You say you will be honored to die by it, won't you? Well, I know I gave you one of those swords. So technically it's made by holy steel, but the other two were made by the blacksmith. What do you think you're doing? You dare unsheath your swords in the temple of our Lord? We will all eventually be one with the Lord, but I return the holy blade, for there is no holiness in blades and no sanctity in death. I think they are just a bit crazy. All right. I'll take the sword back, for we can donate it to the Holy Knights. Hey, yes, but I'm gonna call them real now. She seemed to have used type of magic to hurriedly call a guard over. When I walk out, that will experience the wrath of justness. Wrath the justness will smite this church. I believe in you, Kagu. You can get the wings. No, lightning does not hit the support beam. Unfortunately, God does not seem enthusiastic to listen to your prayers. Do you want to give her the murder weapon sword? Alright. You return a sword for tax money and also to get rid of your murder weapon. Alright, she returns the sword. And then you guys think you're doing a dramatic exit that looks really cool, but it kind of just makes you look silly. You kind of look like you're flaunting, like you're doing like a model walk, but it seems really silly in this situation. You now own this building. Because that building was in the will. Alright. Here's your building with definitely not a murder burn smudge. And there is also in this building a safe, which you have the passcode for because it was in the will. And in this say 285 billion gold. The tavern's kind of not doing so hot. No, the nun is completely clueless, honestly. The nun had a prophecy that she thought it was a dream. With just how much she hated you guys. And, you know, she honestly. It feels like she might have misjudged you. And maybe she just feels that much hate. So she actually kind of likes you guys. Not likes you, but you guys are tolerable. You want to see if the granny's son will make explosives for you? For any of your 285 billion? Make a party for all of town to celebrate your new wealth. And while the party is going on, blow up the walls. And let's see if the granny 10,000 gold. May I speak to your grandson for a private reason? Oh, good heavens! Oh my! Oh gosh, golly! Yes, of course. My grandson would love to speak to you. I'm sure. Thank you so much. I don't know what I can even possibly say. This will do so much. With this much gold, I can send my grandkids to college, to even the Royal Academy, probably for a semester. But like, still a semester. Oh dear, you're endorsing sending my kids to the Royal Academy? I'll for sure make sure that they're educated, bright young men, of course. Thank you so much, dearies. This is the grandson. Who's also a knight. Because, you know, you have to have 2 jobs in this economy. Or not the grandson, it's the son. Let's see how much it'll cost you guys for him to make explosives. Because let's be honest, there is always a price. And he is expensive. Let's just say. He is a knight, so he is very, you know, loyal, but as long as the explosives are going to fight the monsters and whatnot, to raid the Demon King's castle, I can make you explosives. Yes, monsters will perish. That's good. How much are you willing to offer me. Don't worry, Brave Knight and Blacksmith, they will be for noble use. I'm sure they will be. If it's to fight the Demon King. 2 billion? Oh my gosh. Yeah. 10 billion. 2? 2. Alright. That is a very generous amount. I'll get started on working on those explosives right away, and we will finally be rid of the evil Demon King. A party of your wealth? Oh yes, I did hear that you have come into great wealth of Beth Jezos' will. That beer guy is not... I don't think you're gonna ward him. He's going to go into his home to work on making some explosives to raid the Demon King's castle. And you guys are gonna continue further into town. And you see some kids. They're play fighting. They're acting out the battle of the Demon King. And you're gonna walk up to them and ask them if they can handle handing out flyers. You got this, Gilo. Oh, we're having so much fun. Honestly, you could join us. We're playing Defeat the Demon King. It's so fun. But I will let people know about your party and whatnot. Congrats on all the, money and whatnot. Kids, hand out these flyers and tell your parents to leave town. Why would our parents leave town? Like, maybe Jeremy's parents might, because they're, like, merchants and whatnot, but... You'll give us gold? Will their parents leave town? Yeah, Jeremy's parents might, leave town and I'll pay you generously. Money does change things. No, money does not change things, actually. So they're gonna start handing out some flyers for the party. How much gold are you gonna give them for handing out flyers? 40,000 a kid? Wow. That'll last you for a while. You do still have the goblin's head. Goblins might work for money. You give the kids some gold and say, kids, you were acting out the fight between the Demon King, weren't you? The battle would be legendary, wouldn't it? Yeah, the heroes are so cool. I want to be a hero someday and be an adventurer that'll kill so many monsters. the demons are gonna falter, and then the town will thrive, and there'll be so much business, and then my daddy will be really, really rich. Well, you gave us so much, but even more rich. Give people money with the invitation, and you can be the heroes. Sure thing. We'll hand out some gold with the invitations as well. You gave us so much. And we'll be the heroes of the town. You give the kids task to print flyers and spread them along with some gold. Spread the flyers along with some gold. So the kids go off and spread some flyers around for the party that's to be in. When do you guys want the party? Next up is buying all of the inn supply of beer. Well, one of the rolls that I rolled previously was for the fire spreading because of the alcohol. So, there's not any more beer in this town, basically. At night, but like, yeah, that was one of the 16s. All right, they're gonna spread flyers about the night party. And with each flyer they hand out, they'll give everybody 1 gold. And say it's the party for we're the town's new richest man and their wealth. So the kids are gonna go off and spread the flyers. What do you want to do while the explosives are being made? Go talk to the Goblin King and see if it can be bought. Alright, you go out into the woods to search for the Goblin King. And the guards do just let you up. You guys did not get an ID, I'm realizing. And you would have been able to get an ID from the tavern, but oh well. You'll just have to spend a gold to get into town. 14? Alright, you go further into the woods. You find there is a group of goblins. Along with what seems to be a stronger goblin. Yeah, you guys can buy here way back 1 billion times. Actually, a couple billion times. Oh, powerful Goblin King, the human kingdom has made injuries on us both. I need your help to make them pay for what they did, both metaphorically and literally. I can offer some retribution if you help me in my time of need. Alright, so you go up to them. They do not trust you one bit. We've dealt with your kind many a times. We know that your goal is only to make yourself richer and destroy our kind. How could we possibly trust you? This guy's gonna stand up. In a defensive position. I had a very close goblin friend. The guards at town saw it and they took him away from me. They also scarred his face and show him the head. Also, oh no, little goblino, your loss still hurts me to this very day. Let's see how believable you are. The ogre goblin king. You're not very convincing, it seems. Why would you ever bring a goblin into town? Obviously, that's not going to go well. And this guy is actually gonna pipe up. I know what you did. I saw you the other day. You killed him, and then you cruelly stabbed that into his head. You dare lie to us? They're gonna prepare for combat. Do you want to roll for initiative? They got a 6. Yeah. You're going first. Casting fireball. How big is the fireball? We shall see. You cast the fireball at the goblin that called your bluff, but it kind of just flies past into the trees. You singed his eyebrows, yeah. And now the big guy is gonna attack you. Ouch. He slams into you with his club, and as he slams into you, you also get slammed into a tree. Your vision starts going fuzzy. Does money work? I'll give you 10 billion gold if you let me live. You know what? I have them at the town. Meet me outside tomorrow. Show them the will as proof. Alright, you're going to show that you have the gold. Will you be able to convince them to go to the gate for the gold, or do they want the gold immediately? Do you truly think we'd believe we'd be tempted by gold from a human that's killed one of our own? You guys magically gain a pair of sunglasses. The goblin suddenly sees you gain new shades, and might have a differing opinion of you. Maybe he might trust your 10,000 golds to come up. You know, the glasses don't impress him that much. I think maybe the Goblin King orc just doesn't understand the significance of the sunglasses. So he's going to demand that you pay him 10,000 gold right now, or else he will not let you live. Because he needs to support his children. Do you want to pay him the 10k gold or toss the sunglasses? Toss the shades at the goblin orc. Alright, tossing the shades at the goblin king. The shades actually land on this one. You guys kind of have pretty bad aim, I must say. But now shades is on the orange goblin. How well does betraying the father, becoming the new goblin king, go? He's gonna actually go out and backstab his father. Oh, that's so close. He's gonna backstab the Goblin King. Ah! How could you? I raised you. And instead of attacking you, let's see how... And now the big guy is going to slam into Orangey. Ow. Big guy is going to do big damage. Orangey is gonna go down. Orangey's not doing too hot. Appeal to his motherly side. We need to stop the bloodshed. We are fighting amongst each other, and the real enemy is behind a gate. How well does persuading go? He feels remorseful for having hit his kid, and he agrees. I am sorry, my son. I should not resort to violence like the humans do. The real enemy is the one behind the gate, hiding away in town and sending waves of monsters after us. He's going to attempt to feed his son that he just battered a health potion. All right. He's very injured. Goblin is still a little bit hurt. But he is healed a little bit. Okay, let's go to the Demon King. We need his strength by our side. We can try to convince the Demon King, but he may or may not try, or he might... You might be able to convince him, but from what I've seen, you're not amazing at convincing. And unfortunately for potions, I only had the one that I used on Orangey. There is a chance you could convince the Demon King. Will the Goblin King orc go with you to convince the Demon King? On the bottom right? That's me! I just didn't want to have my model. Yeah, you convinced him to not hit his kids anymore. He'll come with you to convince the Demon King. So you guys are gonna continue towards the castle to convince the Demon King to join you in. Those are dark nights. And the ogre is also gonna come with you. He's gonna walk up to these guys and whisper a little something something. He's going to see if he can convince you guys to the Dark Knights to let you pass. Well, they might be a human, but perchance we can let this human pass for once. We will have one of us go with you to make sure you aren't doing anything and to protect the king. Because we don't quite trust the human, but we'll trust in you who's bringing this human. So you continue down. Mr. Knight is gonna warn you guys to watch your feet, because let's just say the boxes around here have tongues and eyes. You want to look into his memories? Yeah, no. What you see is that some amount of the boxes around you are mimics. Let's ask the Goblin King to open the right one closest to the door. Let's see how well the Goblin King is persuaded to go snooping around the Demon King's castle. The Goblin King Ogre says, I will not be touching any of those boxes. You could probably ask Mr. Knight to which ones are safe, maybe. I'd assume he'd know more than me. Will Mr. Knight give away the king's riches? You better not be looting through any of my king's stuff. If you dare touch anything in this castle without permission, that will be the death of you. You could pay for healing. You guys have 285 billion coins. How much gold will it take for the knight to give you a health potion? Knight will give you a health potion for 500 gold. You could try to convince him for 400. Honestly, he'll do 400. We can see if the knight will swear loyalty to us for 2,000 gold. You have convinced the knight to maybe not entirely swear loyalty, but he'll come with you. He'll follow. He'll follow you. And the knight does give you 2 potions that I forgot to put in your inventory. And there is a chance for how much your potion gets back. So let's see how much health a potion gives back you guys back. Yeah. The first potion doesn't seem to really do anything. It seems like it might have been a dud, might have been in storage for a bit. Drink the last potion. Alright, you drink the last potion, and you do actually feel yourself having a little bit more vitality. Your vision's no longer foggy. The potion's not great, mind you, but it is enough to ring you up by 1 heart. The knight kind of looks at you, and he's like, no refunds. Everyone knows potions, kinda. Potions are always a gamble. Like, maybe you could find better potions somewhere else, but like, well, I might not have any more potions on me, but I might perchance know where I could get some more. But they're not necessarily my potions. So it is gonna be expensive, you know? Like 600 gold? Bribe the Demon King into becoming a business partner. Alright. The knight's going to wander into a different room for a moment. And then he comes back. How many potions do you want? I'll just start rolling for you for how many potions. I don't feel like doing math. How many potions does it take for you to go full health? It's gonna take you 3 potions. Do you want any extra potions? Taxes have not been in. Well, they do, but that's in town. Now that we're healed and healthy, is there anything else around the Demon King? The Demon King might be interested, or perhaps make us look a bit more put together. Oh, you guys are gonna be so kind and buy one for the Goblin King? Alright, he's going to take a potion. You know, it only takes that 1 potion. He's feeling right as rain. for a spazzy new outfit, there is a nice looking, royal looking cape. Will the Goblin King wear the cape? He's gonna wear that cape and he's going to look so snazzy wearing it. Like, the Goblin King, honestly, snazziest looking fellow on this planet with that cape. +5 on Riz. Like, he's gonna get all the Goblin babes. He'll walk into the next room to find the Demon King. As you enter, the Demon King looks pretty startled, but also sees how cool and snazzy the Goblin King looks. And honestly, a lot of his attention goes over to the Goblin King. Oh, powerful Demon King, I come to you with an opportunity to expand your kingdom beyond this dark forest. The humans are too complacent in their ivory towers, looking down at the so-called monsters. It's time we take back what's ours. Don't you want to stop the prophecy before it has any chance of becoming reality? Demon King is going to agree that, well, the humans have definitely grown complacent with torturing the poor demon folk. And I have always wanted to expand my kingdom because of the evil deeds that they've done. I do have quite a lot of money. I'm sure anything you can offer is not going to be that much. How could you have more than an entire kingdom of mine? The king is going to look over the Goblin King approvingly, of course. So, did you come here after hearing about the unspeakable atrocities that the town have done? And how evil the church is? Honestly, they were the ones who turned us into these foul beasts. At least most of us. They do more than just portray us as monsters, but it's something I cannot speak about unfortunately. And I can hint at things, but I can't actually say it as a curse has been placed on me. Are we throwing shades at the Demon King? Do you want to see the Demon King's memories? No! You see, the Demon King does accept the shades and puts them on, but his memories seem to be blocked by some force that you are unable to get past. But you can tell that there is a large chunk of the Demon King's memories missing. from about 100 years ago. Let's see how willing the Demon King is willing to join you of raiding the town without mentions of how much gold you'll give. Yeah, he kind of doesn't trust a human with just promises of gold. The only reason he's really hearing you out is because of how tough the Goblin King is looking. Goblin King is carrying you guys. It's a good thing he's your ally now. Oh, Shay, thank you so much. You seem to magically gain more power, because money, for some reason, does pay. Money, this is a pay to win for some reason, somehow. So you're going to see that in the Demon King's memories, 100 years ago, he was actually a hero. You'll see that 100 years ago, the Demon King was actually a human, just like you. And actually, just like you, he was a summoned hero who fell in battle. Or wouldn't necessarily say fell. He fought with the past Demon King. And it turns out that when exposed to the blue blood of monsters, that you become cursed gradually and turn into a monster. And with the past Demon King's death, he actually became the Demon King after his healer attempted to save him from... His healer tried to save him and poured all of her healing powers into him. So he became a very powerful Demon King. But unfortunately, he's no longer human. Or fortunately, because he has a lot of power now. And he was cursed with the past Demon King, the curse that is passed through the Demon King blood, with being unable to speak or say anything about it. Do you guys want to become Demon King? Because you guys could become the Demon King. But you will be cursed. And as he feels this magical relic talking to him through his usually impenetrable defenses, he does feel more inclined to follow what you guys say. Does he need a hug? Yeah. He would really appreciate a hug. He's very sad and lonely after his priestess healer died. You guys somehow did not flunk up the maybe you guys are just really bad at rizzing up normal humans. You guys succeed with the monsters. So you give the Demon King a hug, and he's happy. You guys tell the Demon King of your previous plans. Okay, Dem, may I call you this? Let's meet tomorrow outside gates Also, do you have any booze? Alright, you share with the Demon King your plans of setting explosions along the walls and hosting a party in the night to gather all the people to the middle of town. So you now have plans for the Demon Kingdom to attack tomorrow night while everybody parties. Do you guys want to go back to town and plan your explosions? Alright. So you guys are gonna leave the Demon King's castle. You go past the goblins and their fire, leaving shades behind. Going past there and to the gates. The guards remember you from the previous berry incident, and they ask you for the 1 gold coin for entrance. Reputation in town? Well, it's not known that you burned down the tavern. Give them 10, but tell them that they saw nothing. Hello, guards. I am ashamed of my previous actions, and reparations they'll give you 100 gold each. And I extend an invitation to my party this night. I hope you can at least attend for the toast. All right. You know, they are very happy to attend your party. And, you know, it's not a bribe if it's not seen as a bribe. You know, it's completely normal. It's not a bribe. You're just inviting them to the party, you know? And they saw nothing. Then you go to here's the town. You go into the town and Granny goes right up to you. Sir, wait up. A big party, yeah. You guys have not gotten anything for the party except for explosives. We have your explosives ready for fighting the Demon King. We hope that you'll be able to defeat the Demon King, and we'll finally be rid of that wretched Demon King. Faded wishes to make love with the Demon King. You have maybe perchance after the battle. Demon King has been taken care of, but we have their uses for the explosives, pyrotechnics. The granny would love to help out for some cooking at the party. I hear your party's gonna be an absolute blast. And I'm glad my grandson could help out with you defeating the Demon King. The granny called inside and got her son out. I might be mixing up grandson and son. This is her son. He's the blacksmith and also a guard. Big blast, full of warmth. It'll be an absolutely delightful party. The blacksmith gives you your lot of explosives that'll pack a very large punch. Ask him to decorate. Oh yeah, there is like no rum in the city because you guys might perchance have burned down the tavern. But nobody knows that it was you guys that burned down the tavern. So you now have explosives in your inventory. Times like 20. To, help defeat the Demon King. Currently, your invitations just say Town Square. Empty rum barrels filled with explosives. Keep it in the party area. But if they find out that there's no rum, who knows? There might be chaos. Yeah, hosting a large party to celebrate world peace. Well, it's technically like 60 sticks because they come in the bundles of 3. And they pack quite a punch. The blacksmith is happy to help with some of the decorations for the party. And the granny says that she'll bring some food. You guys want to see if you can find a DJ? A rowing bard. Coincidentally, while you guys are thinking about a roaming DJ, the people in the tavern, let's just say that the fire spread pretty fast. And the roll for water spell did not go well. The secret roll for water spell. Currently, what's left of the tavern is that. You find that this lady is actually a bard and is playing music. You ask the bard if they have anything going on tonight. 20 gold in advance. That does sway things a little bit. Actually, I was planning on going to a party that I hear is gonna be a really big thing tonight. I hear you guys are the host of the party with 200 golds. I will play the most wonderful organizing it. Could you play? I can definitely play for you guys the most wonderful, amazing music. I'll be happy to join you guys at the party. And we'll have so much fun there. We got food, music, fireworks. What's not to love? Yeah, flyers were spread around, some gold was given out. You go into the town square where it's being hosted. Alright, what do you want to set up at the town square? What kind of decorations are you looking for? Tables, chairs, food supply, drinks. Yeah, you order some things to be set up, some extra stools and some tables that are in the same style as the previous bar stools. Should have hired a party planner. You guys order a barrel. Yeah, sadly the party planner was spending a night in the tavern just a day ago. You have a barrel that's very inconspicuous with a sign on it. You have the fireworks that no longer work. Yeah, the fireworks that are definitely fireworks. You have not set up the explosives yet, no. Just the explosives in the barrel. Well achieved, let's have a blast. Nothing is bad, yeah, just a party of your will. That you just recently inherited. And you guys want to set up the explosives for midnight now that the party is mostly set up? How do you want to set up these explosives? All in plain sight? Do you want to do anything to hide these bundles of dynamite? Or put some hay? Maybe a bush? You throw the dynamite in a inconspicuous bush. Let's see how many of these you were able to set up. All 19 of them, actually. You were able to set up all 19 of the fuses and finding bushes along the wall. As night falls, you get up to announce to everyone, we are here gathered with the excuse to celebrate. We don't know each other very well, but in the little time I have known you, I think I have seen your true colors. One of you gave me half your beer, the rest... Oh, wait. That reminds me, I have to bring the dude that gave you... Oh, wait, no, Kyle... He burned down in the tavern. He was in the tavern. You guys killed the one dude who gave you half a beer. One of you gave me half your beer. The rest gave me nothing but indifference and hate until they gave you money. You send your warriors to fight on behalf of senseless violence, and your institutions are corrupted to the core. This is a new age for the kingdom of men. Townfolk, answer this. Who are the monsters really? This is for your fireball. You're gonna cast fireball towards your barrel of explosives. And after your grand speech, you kind of miss the barrel and it fizzles out on the ground. It was a pretty weak fireball. Oops, the fireworks didn't work. Let me try again. You guys fire another fireball. And this one does seem to light the fuse, just barely. Yeah, everyone's just laughing, thinking it's a joke. Now, how well do these explosions go? They messed up the info for the quotes. That sucks, Faded. Guys, trust me, the fireworks are real. Let's see how big these quote-unquote fireworks are. Yeah, those fireworks, they're pretty okay. I'd suggest you guys run, though. You blast the fireworks, and it explodes in a big ball of flame. And you take off. Let's see how well you're able to avoid the explosion. You are like throw a few fireball spells on the people just to make sure. You guys are out of there in a flash of wind, casting fireballs behind you. The fireballs don't hit anybody else, but you are out of there. And you run through the empty town. You run towards out to the, and at the gates, instead of the guards that are usually standing there. And so they storm the walls with an army of goblins and skeletons and magic armor behind them, going into the town. And you lead them into the town. You do have the 3 swords that you can use to zero attack the town. With a sword in both hands. And a dagger in your mouth. You all invade the town square. Setting ablaze. And you go into your party. Let's see how much your explosions have done with lessening the crowd at the party. Alright, you go to the town square, and the people who have died was the barkeep and the harpsichord and the kid. One of the kids. Everyone who was near the barrel that exploded. You set the town ablaze. Start with the Demon King. Everyone here is screaming. Let's see how the Demon King and Goblin King attacks go on the town folks. The kid is dead. But the guards are gonna fight back. The knights are going to try to attack. This guy is going to try to attack you and defend Granny. She's gonna try to defend against the Granny is off limits. She's very scared right now. Everything's exploding around her. Her son is going to try to defend and attack the Goblin King. The Goblin King has been wounded with the sword slash once again in the gut. Roll for if Granny is having a heart, actively having a heart attack right now. Granny's heart is aching. Not quite heart attack. She's terrified though. Granny is shaking in her boots. Who do you guys want to attack? You guys do a really cool flip, and it is actually really cool. And everyone agrees that you guys are really cool. What do you guys want to do? Who do you want to attack? Attack the grandson? Or the grandson died. This was... Goblin King will not solo. This is teamwork, you know? You guys are gonna attack the grandson. It was a 20? The grandson, distracted by the buff coolness of the Goblin King, kill off the +3 string, so like 21 with your swords. You guys managed to absolutely slaughter her son. As you do that, another city guard arrives from the castle, running from the castle, which you guys have never gone to. The Goblin King and Demon King are both going to go over and attack the knight. Knight, is this your final? Any last words? But the knight is empowered by Granny behind him, and the poor Granny who just watched her son die. And in fact, Goblin King is not looking too good. And in the knight's defense, he was able to get he slashed out at both the kings and was able to quite badly injure the Goblin King and injure the Demon King. We do have support from Dark King. You say, "What's that?" and attack the knight. You stab the knight and you do pretty good damage. He's not looking too hot. Join us and we can rule the kingdom together. Will the knight join? Will the knight join us to rule the kingdom together? In fact, seeing your guys' display and being absolutely terrified of the explosions, the kingdom, as long as you don't hurt Granny, we will join and no longer attack these ferocious monsters. As they see the swarm of monsters coming in behind you guys, they decide to surrender. You continue on to the castle, marching forward, and you find the castle doors are wide open, night's pouring out, but you're able to fight through to find the king. There's a squadron of knights. King, your reign has fallen. Surrender your troops and we might let you live. If you don't, you'll wish you were dead. And you'll still kill him in prison, because why not? Alright, let's see. Will the king surrender? You dare attack my kingdom and destroy my walls? There is very little that you could offer me in order for me to surrender. Newest cough cough richest person in the kingdom, cough cough riches. 50 billion? Yeah, 50 billion's good. You guys have successfully made the king surrender for 50 billion. Yo! You guys go in. You know, even though you have such horrible riz, the Demon King really likes you. And you guys kiss the Demon King. And you guys live happily ever after. He loves us because we are bad to the bone. Happy ending. This was truly the world peace ending. The human kingdom is now united with the demon kingdom. The knight shall have control of the town, the goblin king of the demon kingdom, but they answer to us. So you and the demon king live happily ever after. Magically, you feel yourself filled to the brim with riz as you seduce the demon king and no longer have -3 riz. It was a pacifist run. That was a hell of a pacifist run. You guys killed quite a lot of people. Only one monster, though. Thank you guys for joining me. That was really fun.